as relates to vehicles, that will be Keith Freeman question, because he's the one who doing the vehicles, as you know this.
Oh yeah, that's right. Ooh is right. She threw him right underneath that bus. She kicked him, make sure he's gonna fit squarely under that wheel before it starts turning. Keith, you should have known back then. You should have known better than to trust a Tiff. That's why he was so willing so quickly to tell, because he already knew if her given a chance, she definitely would throw him under the bus. It had been demonstrated during these meetings. Hey y'all, it's your girl J9 Eve. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe, share the video, get into the comments, let me know what you think about this, okay? This being this, this goes back because Mr. Freeman is still sitting there in Tiffany's good graces, okay? But this thing comes up. Of course, Belcher, of all people, the only person that you don't want to dare, you don't want to ask of Belcher if she has proof. Like if you get accused of something, okay? Here you go. If you get accused of something and don't, and it's Belcher who's accusing you of something, what you don't want to say is, can you prove it? Don't ask her that. The answer gonna be yes, and she gonna pull the evidence out. Okay, that's what's gonna happen. All right. So this is what basically happened. She got called. I mean, they got called out. Well, Tiffany got called out about these cars. The police cars trade out like they were supposed to get rid of the cars that they had and then get a new fleet of cars, right? For the police. So they ended up getting the new fleet of cars, but then nothing happened with the other cars. But they can't see the other cars either, the old cars. So then the question goes, where the fuck are the old cars? Did this bitch just pay some out to her friends? And that's what it looked like. So of course, Belcher is going to come, she's going to show up, and she's going to ask the questions. And that's what we're going to entertain ourselves with. Right now, of course, she does then throw Freeman under the bus accordingly. Some practice for later. She throws Freeman under the bus, and that's how it turns into basically Belcher and Freeman going at it about this. So let's hop in. No further ado.
On this page where Enterprise fleets, I know that the gentleman has stated that the payments were delinquent, and I asked for a copy of the lease. We approved this in September 7th of 2021. Based on because I went back to look at the YouTube, we approved to trade out the vehicles. The vehicles that we have, because we currently had at that time 46 vehicles, you guys have about 30 new vehicles, which totaled $1,105,000 and some change.
Ooh,
my question to that was, and I asked
that's funny. Tiffany just passing out $1 million. Oh, you got it like that, girl? You got it like that? Okay.
I don't know what the Vate title is at this point, but I asked in reference to did we turn in some vehicles, because when I looked at the meeting, it said based on we were going to be turning in vehicles for the lease for the fleets. None of the, per the guy Christopher Fry, who emailed me back, said that none of the vehicles was turned in. So if we did turn in any vehicles and we purchased 28 new vehicles, because that's what the exact total is, 28 new vehicles, where are those old vehicles?
So why don't you think we have the old vehicles?
You said what?
I said, why you don't think we have the old vehicles?
Oh, I'm so glad you asked me that. I was asking the question, but the reason I'm asking that is because historically, if you're selling anything, it should go through the board, because in 2021, you put that you were selling some stuff in the basement and you brought it in front of us and said, this stuff is the surplus, that we have to go in front of the body to sell stuff. But y'all been selling these cars on govdeals.org, and it hasn't came across the board.
Dang, she done pulled out the website and everything. Like, y'all done sold. No, I done talked to the man that y'all tried to sell it to. You know what I never noticed before? Look at this right here. Look, you can see it's the mirror pointing at the door, the outside door, so they can see if somebody's at this door. I never noticed that before.
First of all, we just sell anything.
A lie. I got it. Her name is
I did
Molly.
not feel anything come out of the basement. When you guys said you did not want to clean, hold on, you did. When you guys said
Look at it now. She talking about what's in the basement. Bitch, we are not. You know we are not. You know we don't give a fuck about that old raggedy ass chair that was in the basement that you definitely sold and pocketed the cash. Okay? I assume maybe the feds will grab up that if they feel like it. When they grabbing up all the rest of the evidence against you. You know what I'm saying? But ain't nobody talking about that. We talking about these cars, this thing that you spend a look at Keith Freeman. Look at it. Keith, why you doing this like a little schoolgirl? Why? I hope don't nobody pay no mind to me. This is exactly the look that one would have when one knows that it's one's fault. You know what I'm saying? he looked like he know that was his fault. He did that. He like, oh shit. Nothing but for Tiffany to turn around and point the finger right at the fuck at him. Which shows that she was telling the truth. It's definitely it's falling on Keith. She gonna point right at him, and you can tell it's true by this thing that he doing right here with his hand.
you did not want to clean the village harvest right when I got in office. All that trash, all that junk, whether it was couches, furniture, is still down there now. So we did not. As relates to vehicles, that will be Keith Freeman question, because he's the one who handled the vehicles, as you know this.
Oh yeah, that's right. Ooh, ooh is right. She threw him right underneath that bus. She kicked him, make sure he's gonna fit squarely under that wheel before it starts turning. You know what I'm saying? It was all the Keith innards coming out. You know what I'm saying? Like nothing staying in. You mean an empty sausage casing? You know what I'm saying? Nothing left. All right, Keith, you should have known back then. You should have known better than to trust a Tiff. You should have known. She threw you under the bus so easily, so slickly, almost to where she did. She kind of hoped you didn't hear it. She like about that basement stuff. Now we had talked about this here chair and Keith Freeman, and what had happened was she just slid you under there. I wish we could see his eyeballs. I wonder if he looked at her when she said his name. Like $20 says it happened. That hand opened up. Like this.
So get to the board meeting.
He went from to oh my.
Understand why we grandstand. You said, and I quote, I and you spoke to Keith Freeman. So if you guys have that type of rapport, why don't you do that before you get here instead of putting on a show? And you would have got your answer instead of putting on a show once again.
Okay, so let me say this. Because I think that, for one, you never addressed the fact that it was supposed to go through the board, however you just wanted to spend it. Two, I did speak to Keith Freeman. Keith, when I called you about what?
I think that's a...
Now look at that. No. Now, Keith, when I called you about what? Now, the panic sets in. Let's see how he responds. I'm sure it's responsibly and with much respect. No? Oh.
When I called you,
hold up, stop. Before you start with the whole stuttering thing, just relax.
Look at that. Oh, he reverted right back to childhood. When you know that you can't win the argument and you go straight into shit that you hope would be funny, but what? Before you start stuttering, like, bitch, you still got to answer the question. I know you think what you said was funny, but it wasn't. And now you still got to answer the question. Okay? Your failure. Okay?
Hold on. I'm very respectful for everybody.
Oh, yeah.
All right, citizens.
That's exactly what you said right after you insult somebody. Look, I'm very respectful. Like, your mother ain't shit. I'm very respectful. But like, wait, what? You just said my mother wasn't shit. Now you're saying you're respectful. I don't know if those two things matched. I don't think they go together. He gonna throw out an insult and then say, I'm very respectful. Like, first of all, bitch, nobody asked you if you was respectful. Okay?
Let them talk. I think the first thing is that if you did have a question, I think the best thing to do, because you know I would have answered the question, is if you go. I think.
Yeah, but she just said when she called you, y'all had a conversation about this. Oh, did you? What? Oh, so that would have been a good time to say it. So, bitch, why didn't you answer it in the phone call? It's like, I don't think we should be having this conversation right now. I think we should have had it on the phone when you had asked me on the phone when I refused to answer it. I think we should have done it then, back when we were supposed to have did it, but I wouldn't do it because I'm a dick. I think that's what happened. That's where we at with this. Like this is the type of shit.
I want to answer the question. If I couldn't answer the question, at least I would have been able to tell you I can't answer the question. Second thing is all fleet.
Did this bitch just say, if I could answer the question, at least then I could say I could answer the question, and then something about a whatever's in. Keith, your spin ain't spinning, honey. Your spin is very stiff. Okay, your spin is standing still. Okay, your spin ain't spinning at all. Maybe you are not good at spinning. Maybe you should just be standing. Okay.
Every single vehicle that's in our fleet is being managed by the police department. I have a spreadsheet, and I would have been able to tell you which vehicles have been swapped out and which ones weren't. The other thing is, the last part is that.
Yeah, but none of they weren't. What do you mean we're swapped out? Bitch, we asking where is these motherfuckers? Like there was the old fleet. They was like, we need to get some new vehicles, and then the people, the trustees, they voted okay for this. This is how this started. They voted okay for this back before. Now, when they do all of the stuff with it, they're supposed to let them know, run, because the way that they do it matters. They didn't, of course. And then all of a sudden, the new fleet shows up. They see how much they paid for them. But they're like, okay, so what happened with the old cars? Because it was supposed to be like a swap out. So where did the old cars go? Where are the old ones? Where's the old fleet? This should be an easy fucking answer. The thing is that should be an easy answer as far as like what they the basics of what they did with them, or if they're still there. And if they're still there, okay, so where are they? Where are they being kept? So that they can move on to what they're going to do with those, because just buying a whole new fleet while they still have those when they could make money off of those. You know what I'm saying? But they done gave them to Tiffany's family, is my theory. All Tiffany's family members all got new cars. All Tiffany's old cousins, old homies, okay? They all got cars, maybe fixed them up, sold them or something, fixed them a little bit, sold them so that they could buy more properties. But whatever it was illegal, and the feds will find out.
To answer all of your questions is that if you and I had a conversation with Chris Fry, then maybe we would have been able to get to the bottom of it, and as opposed to answering it right now, and it's a loaded question, and I have nothing in front of me.
How the fuck is it a loaded question, bitch? Basically, where are the cars? Where the cars at?
Everybody's throwing everybody under the bus.
Mm-hmm.
One more thing.
Everybody need to be under that motherfucking bus. That's the answer to the question.
I think this is really, really important. And this deal, this enterprise deal, was done prior to me being here.
Correct.
It was a Dorothy Brown deal.
That's correct.
So if I don't have the contract in front of me, and the contract doesn't say, hey, listen, maybe these particular vehicles are being swapped out, this VIN number, this VIN number, this VIN number, swapped out for this amount, this amount, this amount, then I can't tell you that. So I agree that it's a valid question. But what I think is a better way of communicating with me and probably everybody else, so we don't get all the ahs and ohs, is maybe you can contact me and maybe we can continue.
Bitch, this started out with her saying, when I contacted you. She tried to contact you already. She did. She already called you. She talked to you. Of course, clearly you didn't answer the fucking question because she still had to come in here with it. But now it's find another time, a better time. You know, like that 1 second, right when I wake up in the morning, right before I yawn or stretch, answer me the question right in that millisecond. That's the perfect time. Keith, this is just shameful. This is giving very small D energy. Like this is giving little D, okay? This is very cowardly. You is looking very cowardly, okay? This is crazy.
The relationship that we have of communicating prior to us getting here. That would have been respectful, so we wouldn't just be.
Oh, that would have been.
That's true. And you know what?
That would have been respectful, as you tell me I stutter. Guess what? My stutter is going to be free in the world. Your stutter going to be in prison, okay? You keep it up. I'm going to call the fanny feds.
And I definitely appreciate that. But as our conversation went, when I asked about why our agenda items wasn't on there, and he said, well, then that conversation when the mayor was not available. It should have been that somebody would have got back to us. So I'm not trying to put you on the hook for anything. She the one said talk to you.
I know that's right. That's right. Blame her. I was talking to her. She pointed the finger at your stupid ass. Oh, sorry, my bad. Did I call you stupid? Stupid? My bad, stupid. She's the one who pointed the finger at you. So you want to get mad at somebody, you be mad at that thing in the blue next to you. Okay, with her head tipped up like this, and she refused to look at you because she knows she wrong. Because she knows she wrong. That's why.
About it. I know exactly when it took place. Dorothy Brown was here. The lease was signed October 15th. I don't need you, me, and Keith, and Chris Fry on there. What my conversation was to you about, or to the board or whoever is running the day-to-day operation, is that if these are something that, not even the cars, the fact that selling anything that's a surplus goes in front of the board of trustees. Am I not right?
You're right about that, but
Okay.
we didn't have a conversation about that on the phone.
That's true.
That's right, because you said I need to talk to her, and you said she wasn't available, and then y'all never got back to me. So that's a you problem, and that's why right now I'm up here embarrassing the shit out of you, and that's how it happened, okay? That's how it happened.
Now on the phone, what you mentioned to me was that you would like to place on the agenda a discussion item. You didn't say, and I quote, I want to discuss this prior to me putting it on the agenda. That's one. The second thing is that part of that agreement may say that you are swapping out whatever those vehicles are. And I can't have an intelligent conversation with you about that if it's not in front of me. I think to be helpful to one another, so I can be prepared, so that the mayor can be prepared, and everyone in our administration can be prepared, it would have been better served for us to have that conversation prior to now.
That's fine. Take the cars out. The issue is anything that goes as a surplus that's being sold by the village of Dawson, does it go in front of the board of trustees? Yes or no?
Yes. Now, can I
Okay.
ask you a question? May I ask you a question?
Absolutely.
Do you have a copy of the contract with Enterprise in front of you that says that, hey, listen, these are a list of vehicles that could be swapped out that was already prior approved for the board?
Now that's what you don't do. What you don't do is ask her if she got evidence. Look how proudly she held that up. Yes, bitch. Do I have what? What it look like? Do it look like, yeah, I got it? Cause it looked like I got it to me. I think look like it. This is it. This man tried to call this. He did the classic. Can you prove it? Do you have the evidence with you right now at this second, and you only have 1 second to hold it up in the air and show me you got it? You. Otherwise, we get to call you a straight fucking liar. That's the name of the game. That's how they play it. But they played it with the wrong one, okay? Because you don't do shit like this with Belcher. Belcher don't ask you a question unless she got the answer sitting next to her on a piece of paper. She got the documents, okay? That's why she asked you. Because she left the house hoping, praying that you would ask her this question, okay? That's what you don't do.
Absolutely.
Look at that.
And I got the email that says,
Ooh, and she got an email. She said, "Oh, you want some more? I got some. Give me some more." There's a stutter for you.
attached is the current active lease schedules, as well as the list in the Excel of current vehicles on the lease with Enterprise. I don't see where we ever received a vehicle to sell on your behalf or to trade in. Also, I've attached a
Damn, or to trade in. So there you go. So when they got them cars, it had nothing to do. Them new cars had nothing to do. They did. There was no mention of any kind about them old ones. There it is. Let's see how he spin this.
master lease agreement in case that you need it for a reference. I'll work on pulling all of the invoices. Please let me know about payment.
So you answered the question yourself.
No,
The question,
that's not the question.
listen, wait, hold on.
That's not the question.
No.
Because I have a separate list of the Excel sheet of cars that have been sold.
You're not listening to what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that if you guys already have a master list of the vehicles that are supposed to be sold.
It's not you guys, Kiana does.
Kiana, okay. Trustee Belcher, if you have a master list of the vehicles that are always supposed to be sold, then you already agreed to it as a board.
No, this is the list of cars that we purchased, not to be sold.
That's what I asked. That's the question.
This is the list of cars that we purchased.
You missed the question.
Okay, guys. So
The issue was, if they're selling anything, it should go in front of the board. Excuse me?
you know this is on the agenda item, so I guess we're not gonna discuss it no longer after y'all get done.
I mean, as long you keep putting fire mic on there, so as many times as we can put it on there, we can discuss.
No, what I'm saying is you're discussing it now. We're in the middle of bills. That's
this is a financial issue.
And that's fine, but I'm saying it's on the agenda for discussion. So
So again, what Tiffany was saying was this particular thing in specifically was on the list of things that they were supposed to discuss, but because it got brought up inside of them going over bills, Tiffany was asking this. So then this is the discussion thing. We're not gonna redo this in the moment when because we're doing it right now instead of in its designated time where they were gonna do it like later at the meeting, like during the meeting, because that was it had its own designated time to talk about. So that's what Tiffany was saying. After Tiffany threw her colleague under the bus and they got so mad at him when he turned on her. I think that this moment was part of the moment when it started to go awry. So like he already knew that she would throw him under the bus. Like this is how he knew. Shit, she would just so easily just throw me under the bus. So when his whole charges thing came up with this whole tax evasion or whatever it was, when that whole thing happened, and then Feds was like, "Hey, feel like talking? You feel like talking? We just want to talk about the weather and the sports and stuff." And if Tiffany come up, she come up. That's why he was so willing so quickly to tell, because he already knew if her given a chance, she definitely would throw him under the bus. It had been demonstrated during these meetings, like so. And it always takes something like a Belcher to pull it out of you, to make it be known. I'm telling you what you ain't gonna do is dare Belcher to show up with some fucking evidence. Like she be studying. She's a master of these things, okay? Inspiration to us all. I tip my hat, my invisible hat. I tip my headphones to you, Belcher. I tip my headphones to you, okay? All right. So I saw that. I thought it was fun. Thought I would share it because sharing is caring. And mama love you. Yes, she do. Y'all behave because I'm not going to do it. Absolutely not. There would just be no point. I don't even see the appeal. I don't know why you do it if you do. But I'm not. Okay. Mama love you. Yes, she do. Ooh. Peace.